I think a lot of the people on the Reddit are just salty you never did that OKBV stream you promised like years ago now. Maybe, but I don't think those are the people who are like ruthlessly contrarian posting. I think those are like different types of people, you know? Like the people who are like, I miss that the only real Vaush was the one that existed in my mind 5 years ago. It's like a whole different dealio. Yeah, too humorless to be the same, right? They're not motivated by the same shit. On the plus side, I just checked the Reddit, and this guy posted some chorizo. That looks fucking good. Or chorizo, rice, and beans. That looks really good. Chorizo may be a bit exotic for the collapse of industrial civilization. Nah, it's good. The thing that's nice about chorizo, too, is that a little bit goes a long way, you know? Like, unlike having a big chicken breast or like a hamburger patty or something, you can just add a tiny bit of chorizo to a larger meal, and it sets the stage. It sets the stage. Have you seen Trump wants to financialize healthcare further by having your insurance company loan you your coverage? I did not see that. That's fucking insane, but thanks for letting me know. I actually saw a post on the subreddit, but I don't see it now. I saw it like yesterday or the day before. But it was somebody arguing with my takes on monetary policy because they were like in favor of financialization as long as the financialized capital was rationally allocated. Dana, did you see that post? I think they deleted it. I'm not going to go digging through archives just to like dunk on someone who wanted to delete their post to avoid flack. But did I hallucinate that? I feel their post was like, Vaush is wrong on economics. There's nothing wrong with the, you know, everyone just investing their money or whatever. The economist major? They were an econ major? That would explain it. Chorizo also can be microplaned and then cooked in a toaster oven or broiled with a super crispy topping. That is how I like chorizo, in my opinion. The sobrasada, which is very similar to chorizo in a lot of ways. My favorite sandwich ever was at Marmot, Barcelona, which somehow only has 13 reviews on TripAdvisor. This place, I have a t-shirt from there. I like live my life. Every once in a while, I remember going here and I'm like, holy shit, I need to go back. Their prices have gone up. Blame Biden. Oh man, oh my God. Okay, here we go. This is what I got. I got from the grilled sandwich menu. Where is it? Here we go. The Baleares. Mahon, sobrasada, and honey. €6.50. It was like €4 when I went there. That sucks. Oh, no, wait. No, never mind. The sobrasada sandwich on its own is just €4 or €4. Okay. These would have been 21 bucks here. The food, it literally does not matter what they raise the price to. You should go here. You should go here. It does not matter what you do with your life. You just have to make sure you go to Marmot in Barcelona. That's the only thing that matters in your entire life. It's 1 block away from the Sagrada Familia. Marmot got bought out by private equity in 2025. No, it didn't. Fuck you. It's a single cafe in Barcelona. They did not get bought out by private equity. There's nothing to liquidate. It's a 150 square foot cafe with like 3 tables in it. Fuck you. Don't say that. Don't manifest. Here, 1 second. Let me. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Ooh. Sorry, my posture. My posture today's stream was not been great. I felt it when we were looking at the Sagrada Familia. Oh, yeah. Here, hold on. Yeah. We got this shit down now, man. Been practicing my deep frog squat. Deeper? My butt was touching the ground. I don't know what you want from me. The fuck are you wearing? It's called a frock shirt. It's like a chore shirt, like a chore coat, but it's cut like a shirt. It's kind of like a weird item, but I'm delighted. It's super comfy. It's like pajamas. Frog shirt. Holy shit, I just tried to sit like that and my hips popped loud. Are you ready for the real red pill? Your hips and joints popping is not bad. Stay woke. The most fit people in the world also feel that. It literally is normal. Like anyone can crack their knuckles. It's literally just something your joints do if they're a little bit stiff, and air builds up in the connection between the joints. It's like a totally normal thing. Like the only thing your joints cracking tells you is that you haven't moved those joints in like an hour or 2, you know? Nah, Mayo Clinic's telling me I got 3 days left to live. Nice try. Ah, shit. Ah, shit. This is not medical advice. Why did they say cracking is bad then? Old wives' tales. It's not real. Seriously, there's nothing wrong with cracking your knuckles. I mean, if you do it too much, you might make your knuckles sore or whatever. Ilhan Omar voted against the Ukraine Support Act. Uh-oh. I have always and will continue to stand with the Ukrainian people and unequivocally condemn Putin's illegal and brutal invasion. I voted against the Ukraine Support Act because of its inclusion of broad economic sanctions. Time and time again, sanctions like these fail to achieve their stated goals while inflicting real suffering on ordinary people. This is generally true. Sanctioning countries like Iran, Venezuela, Cuba, Russia generally just like impoverish the people. Like targeted sanctions can be effective sometimes, but my understanding is that specific sanctions usually just affect civilians. Opposing Russian aggression does not require us to support policies that punish ordinary civilians who do not ask for this war. Okay. Ilhan Omar expressed support for boycott of its sanction. Debate bro asks community note. BDS against Israel isn't the same as government sanctions. Government sanctions against countries like Russia, Venezuela, Cuba, etc. usually just mean austerity for the people. BDS for Israel means that Israeli companies get less money to funnel into their war machine. Like the idea that BDS is starving the population of Israeli civilians is ridiculous. U.S. sanctions have been seen as effective against apartheid South Africa, Iran, and Libya. In what way? Is Libya better now? Is Iran better now? I mean, apartheid South Africa, there was an element of effectiveness there with the pressure that was applied. But I actually don't know much about the exact effect of those South African sanctions. It really depends on how the sanctions are targeted. Yeah, but voting against the whole bill is a bit questionable, though. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think you should support Ukraine. The sanction stuff, there are effective sanctions against Russia. This is just a very stupid community note. The conflating U.S. sanctions against a poor country with BDS against Israel is like genuinely low IQ. It's not, those aren't comparable at all. They're similar only in the sense that they both share the word sanction in them. The effects are completely different. The sanctions of Russia are largely targeted at their MIC production. Yeah, I would. It would depend on like the specifics of the sanctions, but I think that there are sanctions that have been applied against Russia that I think are good. So I think I disagree with Ilhan Omar on this. But the community note's stupid. China built this bridge for $300 million in 4 years. I didn't know you could build bridges that cheap. Dang, that's pretty. It's cool that they like make stuff over there, you know?
Into just a few minutes. It's called the Huajiang Canyon Bridge, and it crosses a canyon about 2,050 feet deep. The total length is about 1.8 miles, with a main span of around 4,060 feet. The total
AI
cost...
video? Listen, all videos are AI now, including mine. Just don't... If that's all you have to say, just focus on the bridge itself, okay?
...is close to $300 million. It can cross such a deep canyon, not by pushing down, but by being pulled from both sides, like a tightly stretched cable holding the deck in the middle and spreading the weight into the mountains on each side. Instead of winding mountain roads, you can now go straight across, cutting travel time by a huge margin, from a long, curved route to a direct crossing. But the most impressive part is not just the speed, it's what happened during the drainage test. Engineers released a large amount of water to simulate extreme rain. The water rushed off the bridge and dropped into the canyon over 2,000 feet below. Because of the height, the water speeds up, creating a waterfall effect. With so much water released at once, it looks like a waterfall in the sky. When it hits the bottom, the sound is like thunder echoing through the canyon. It can be heard for miles. What's more, this is not just a bridge. It also includes a sightseeing elevator and a glass walkway. There is even...
Neat. I mean, that is actually super cool. I do hate China's obsession with putting gamer lights over everything, though. Like, you have a really nice teal color scheme, just illuminate it. Literally just illuminate it.
And a glass walkway, thunder echoing.
Like, that's, you don't need to RBG or RGB everything. You just don't. Those anti-fatigue lasers, yeah. In China, if the government finds you've been driving for more than 1 hour without a break, they fire a laser from low orbit directly into your eyeballs to keep you awake. It's true, Elon is fucking miserable no matter how wealthy he is. I think anyone who says you're just jealous you're not a trillionaire must be investigated. That is an insane thing to say. You could be jealous that you're not a millionaire, but no one but a madman would be jealous for not being a trillionaire. That's crazy. Being a trillionaire, like genuinely, you will never use that wealth for anything. Being a trillionaire is like having an award for owning all of the land on a planet in a different galaxy. Like, oh, did you know this guy owns the most land of anyone in human history? Like, yeah. Like the biggest landowner on Earth owns like a billion acres, but you own like 500 trillion on the planet like Zeta X3. Like, well, it does no bearing whatsoever on your life in any way. It's completely meaningless. It's illness. How many little St. Jameses could you buy with $1 trillion? Well, considering the fact that Elon was an Epstein affiliate, you know, presumably it would always, like, Elon could never afford Little St. James because Little St. James would always include Elon. You know what I mean? It's like, can God eat a burrito that he microwaved to be so hot that even he couldn't eat it? You get me. Even more insane, the first trillionaire wasn't just a pedophile. He's a pedophile that has to beg to be included by the other pedophiles. Yup. Like he literally found a way to be more pathetic and contemptible than the average Epstein affiliate. Like, not just being around Epstein and wanting to be around Epstein, but having to beg and like be the biggest loser at the pedophile party. It's insane. He's such a fucking joke, man. He's such a joke, but the joke's on us because he's the first trillionaire. And also he like controls the world or whatever type shit. As a leftist, bad news doesn't give you the morale, anger, and itch to fight. You aren't a leftist. I think you can be a leftist while being sensitive to bad news, but it does frustrate me a little bit when people are like, oh yeah, Vaush is doomer. Vaush is doing a sky is falling bit. Like, it projects onto me a degree of hysteria or insincerity that I think is really inappropriate coming from people who are nominally left-leaning. You know what I mean? Like, you should understand where, even if you disagree with me, you should understand where I'm coming from right now. You know? And if you don't even understand where I'm coming from, like, I don't know how legit you're being. Vaush, check your latest uploads. It's all doomer. I don't need to check my uploads. I'm me. I'm the stream. I know where the videos come from. I was there in the factory when they made the sausages. Bro, the fucking check the hot dogs. I was there when they stuffed the sausage. At one point, I was looking at the West as something to look up from science to politics to culture, but now I look up at fear what they might do to people who look like me in any way. That's really sad. Yeah. No, I get you, and I think that's really sad. I don't think that the West, or America in particular, has ever really lived up to its vision of being an ivory tower on the hill, like a gleaming white city. Not white racially, but white, you know what I mean, like alabaster or marble. But yeah, that is quite sad. I think that to a lot of people around the world, there's a lot of comfort in the idea that even if you were born in kind of a shithole, like, not to say you were Alexander Stanford, but like a lot of Egypt is not perfect. If you live there, you're like, well, there's a dream. Like, I might one day get to move to Paris or London or New York, whatever. And like, yeah, it's not going to be perfect, but there is a vision. But now we're collapsing faster than anyone. And it's just a reminder, I guess, that there's nowhere on Earth that's really safe from this. And we might take you all down with us, too, you know? We are so militarily, economically, and culturally powerful that a decline in the West, I mean, it is already hurting everyone on Earth. We're giants falling and collapsing cities, you know, beneath us. Not late, actually. And I'm surprised by that, too, because, you know, and not to hit you with a TMI right off the bat, but at the recommendation of some close friends and confidants, I have begun taking, in the interest of my health and well-being, some fiber supplements, and it's been having the expected effect, you know? I mean, it does make you feel, it really makes you feel like you're losing weight. Know what I'm saying? Aren't fiber supplements for gay men? And that's why all straight men have tummy aches. Nah, everyone gets tummy aches. Gay people get tummy aches too. What the hell? Oh, there I am shirtless, I guess. Camera froze. That hasn't happened in a while. All right. It's a bit. Germ a bit. 1 second. This means my camera's going to take a second to fix itself. My eyes! He's so pale! What's with all the calico names? Buddy, when I find out, I'll let you know. I was focused on the hair. Ah, he's hairy! Oh my god. Hold on. I should have figured this would happen because I woke up feeling gross today. It was warm as fuck. Damn, must be pretty warm in Seattle. Yeah, no, it was. I woke up like sweaty and gross. Didn't even know you had windows in this room. Dog, there are blinds behind me. Light comes in the blinds behind me. What are you talking about? Ah, he's hairy! As if he's not always wearing, like, shirts with 3 buttons undone. What's up? Nice opening bit. Quinted reviews versus Vaush and a hairy body off. To me, I'm not even hairy because I grew up next to, like, Persian high schoolers. You know? Like, while I was growing up, I was next to all the Persian Jews, and it was like they had full beards in middle school. So, from my perspective, I'm not even hairy. You know? They had mustaches at 10. I was, like, optimized environmentally for not thinking that much about my own hairiness, because on one hand you have the Persians, and on the other hand you have Mexicans who all like every Mexican guy has a mustache at 14, you know? So not hairy, just fuzzy. I would look a lot hairier if I didn't have like blonde body hair, you know? Irish hairy genes. That is not how that works. I stand by the lessons that I learned reading about what happened after the Nazis lost and after the Civil Rights Act was passed, which was that by and large, racists were not like convinced, or Nazis, former Nazis, weren't like convinced they were wrong. You just have to subject them to so much overwhelming social pressure that they shut up forever until they just die, and they pretend, they spend the rest of their lives pretending that they didn't believe the things they believed, you know? Because of the people in America who opposed the Civil Rights Act, right? You know, a majority of whites, at least at a time, most of them were not committed enough to their racism to make an issue out of it for long afterwards. Like, the average white racist, 5 years after the Civil Rights Act was passed, was not still beating their chest about it. Because they're like, okay, like, they lost. You know, and past a point, they just shut up because, like, why they could, because they get shamed out of it. You know, I think that's what you have to do. There's just not that much historical evidence to suggest that you can have like mass conservative movements, like mass hysteria, people being convinced out of it. Like they renounce their beliefs. You know, for the most part, you just have to pressure them. And I just don't understand this obsession with like coddling the other side. Would you accept that in a post-Nazi Germany, or in a like a post-Civil Rights Act America, where you're like, well, we have to reach out to the other side? No, you don't. You have to win. Like the Martin Luther King Jr., you know, PIBA, did not, you know, proceed with his protests and his activism on the assumption that active white racists were going to change their mind, you know? He knew that you can change the mind of like marginal groups, but for the most part, like you just have to overwhelm the opposition. You have to be louder and more present than them. He was correct on this. He was it's every successful social movement in history has understood this to some point. From the union activists back in the 1910s and 1920s to I mean, I guess I would just have to mention like every successful social movement, from the feminists in the 1960s to the suffragettes. Like on every time there's a big social shift, it eventually comes down to a big clash, and the winners, the people with more power, prevail. What about the American Civil War? Well, I would say that was an example of the point that I'm making, because we failed to follow through. The South started the Civil War. The South fired on Fort Sumter. They began the Civil War after secession. They started it in both counts. They started the secession, which was illegal, and then they started the war. And then, after we Americans won, we let them off easy because Lincoln got assassinated and his VP pick was a pussy and a Confederate sympathizer. So, like, it seems to me like this is an example of what happens if you don't follow through. We shifted our mindset. We went from, you lost, we will put our boot on your neck, to like, well, you know, let's actually like pardon Confederate generals. Let's recognize that they were defending their own country, their own people, or whatever. And now we still have Confederate apologia 150 fucking years later. So, you know, to me, it's you have to commit. What I'm hearing is Hasan needs to fight at the White House WWE event to bring about communism. He has a better shot winning than I do. Is Hasan ever trained any combat sports? Like, has he ever like done in like any jiu-jitsu, judo, karate, boxing classes, whatever else? He plays basketball. I think that playing basketball probably gets you like a decent way to knowing how to box, right? Because that you got that footwork, right? Trying to skip around people. He did sumo? Why the fuck would he do sumo? He's skinny and 6'4". That makes no sense. Why would he do sumo? He used to box, right? Get in there. I think like the past 15 years of entropy has worn on my body. I don't think I don't think my body can pivot the way it used to. I'd have to get my footwork back first. Too much live streaming? It does wear away at your body. It is true. Live streaming is a very physically demanding job. Something like boxing never leaves you. I don't think it's quite like bicycling, but yeah, I don't know. I haven't punched a bag in a long time. Do you still have your glowing Resident Evil chest weakness? I actually don't. No, I don't have that anymore. I fixed it. You're playing Disco Elysium later, or Milo808, I'm challenging you, okay? This is a direct challenge from me to you. Consider it homework. Whether or not you respect me will determine whether you think the homework is worthwhile. Craft messages that aren't annoying. You've struggled with this for a while, so this is like a targeted exercise to help you in like I'd say a weak area in your character. Construct messages that don't annoy me. But it's valuable. It's worthwhile. It's worthwhile work because you might not even know you're doing it. You know? I'll try. Okay. No, okay. Oh, no, I'm happy to hear that. I appreciate you giving it a good shot. For sure, for sure. He's annoying because you respond to bait. I don't understand why people who watch live streams act like the streamer is getting one up there when the byproduct of that engagement is entertainment for everyone watching. People are like, oh, you fell for bait, but the falling for bait is like, wow, you got 90 seconds of funny content where you riff with chat. Like, oh no, you're losing the battle. You should only respond to serious, unfunny chat messages, you know? You people are crazy. You people are crazy. Now, we do have a slight problem here. You know, I mentioned at the beginning of stream that I've begun taking fiber supplements. Unfortunately, I think that I might need to go and use the restroom. My body is not used to the amount of fiber. Do you shit your pants live? I'm really happy to say that I haven't, but before I go, I think I want to find like a video I can put on, you know, because I don't normally. Oh no, Tempest, you did this. You were like, you need to take Metamucil. You need to Metamucil max, okay? You need to, at any given point in time, your body needs to have literally zero poop in it. Nope, ever, you know? We said work up to it. Wait, I only took 2 scoops in the morning. How many scoops? It says on the thing of Metamucil, it says you can take like 2 scoops 3 times a day, which sounds insane. So I just take 2 once a day. Oh God, Vaush, no. Is too bad? Because the thing on the... You only took 2 scoops. That you... My love's been putting in my coffee. Start with 1 scoop, work your way up from there. You'll feel it the first couple of weeks. Okay. You know, I feel like you aren't supposed to take the full dose. I feel like the container could have been a little bit more clear. You know? I feel like the container could have been a little bit more clear. You need to do 1/4 of a dose to start? What the fuck? That's crazy. 1/4? You're gonna hit your head on the ceiling. Oh man. That's fucking funny. No, I mean, you know, I'm not yet at an age where I'm not in control of my faculties, I'm happy to say. So I think I'll be okay. I guess my thinking is that, like, after I use the restroom, there's not going to be anything left. You know? Like, I should be fine after that, right? Just don't end up on Chubby Emu. Fucking... This live streamer took the Metamucil challenge. Here's what happened to his sphincter. It's like a 3D model of something that, like, it looks like a gunshot wound. I'm sorry. Let me go here. Let me go Harry Enton Max for a bit, okay? I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be right back, okay? Don't be vulgar. Don't say swears, okay? Don't say swears.
I hear the president.
Jamie, pull up the anus camera.
Bibi Netanyahu,
Vaush
who
hit
was
his
first.
head. No, no, no. We survived. How long did I take? How long was that? 5 minutes 46? That's not too bad. It's a very long shit Vaush. Listen, okay, I'm just making sure I don't have to go back, all right? That's fair. You look like that was rough. Wasn't that rough? It's a decent mile. Hegseth could never. I've never run a 6-minute mile in my life. You're sweating? Okay, the sweating is because it is hot today and it's hotter in the bathroom. Sure, sure. Yeah, okay. No, make your fun. Make your fun. How is it hotter in the bathroom? Do you live? Are you alive? Do you have experience? What do you mean? All that matters is hands were washed. I can't. You people talk down to me. You rise above your station. Honestly. Colon cancer is the #1 leading cancer for young people. Fiber is super important. We're probably on our way to Fibermaxxing, you know? Like, we've done a protein max, now we're going to Fibermax. Which is good. Protein maxing right now is fucking retarded. Like, people are out there seriously eating protein chips. For one, you don't work out. If you did, maybe you would need the protein, but you don't. So it's not going anywhere. If you were working out, you would not be getting your protein from chips. You'd be getting them from beans, tofu, lean meats, or a variety of other legitimate sources. Whey protein, something else. You are not getting your protein from chips. You do not need protein Doritos. Also, people think they need way more protein. Listen, unless you are legitimately like a top couple percentage points athlete or exerciser, like you're in very good shape, you probably don't need more than 100 grams of protein a day. And even that is a lot. Even that is a lot. 1 gram of protein per lean body weight. No, it's not. You legitimately, like, maybe if you're at the upper end, like you're really training, you're really putting the work in. But for the most part, for average and even above average people, you just don't. You just don't. I think there's a lot of meat industry propaganda out there right now. Yeah. And everyone's got the stinky farts, you know? 1 gram per 1 pound's the best if you want to maximize gains. You really don't need it in most cases. You really don't. Protein chips are just more filling than regular chips. That's true. I've noticed that. Yeah, protein does tend to fill you up a little bit more than raw, empty carbohydrates. Though, if you want like a carb snack that fills you up pretty well relative to its calories, there's basically no beating baked potatoes, or failing that, popcorn, you know? It's fucked up that both tennis and volleyball get like femcoded. For one, I understand, because saying these sports are like women's sports is a way of saying that they're less serious, which is obviously fucked up and sexist. But people do act that way, which is odd to me. Is baseball femcoded? No, because they play softball, right? I think especially volleyball, man. Volleyball is an honorable sport. Why do we treat it like it's a haha sexy woman game? Like, it is a sexy woman game, but why is it a haha game? You know? Why is it a haha game? You're running around, you're hitting the ball. I don't know. Because the beach, TBH. Yeah, but do you know how hard... Like, have you guys played a game of beach volleyball? That shit is fucking difficult. You're going to get calves of iron, you know? Like, it incentivizes so many sick... Like, like tennis, you know, you have pivoting and incredible footwork, and you have very strong shoulders, right? It's really using your body here, and it's... But people are just like, oh, it's a hot girl game because girls bounce around in it. It's like, I mean, yeah. Yes, that's true, but it's also, like, a really tough sport. That's nice. Get back on the bike, man. Fuck you. Also, okay, can I win? Can I win back some +2s? Male volleyball players should be forced to wear their equivalent of the female uniforms. They should be wearing skimpy thongs so that their penises jiggle when they spike the ball. There we go. There we go. No one in my chat would disagree with that one. It's fucked up that the women wear bikinis and the guys are wearing, like, you know, compression tech shorts that go down to their, like, knees plus a tank top or whatever. That's just loser shit. Low-hanging +2? Yeah. It's very low-hanging. I crapped that shit off the ground, dog. That +2 fucking fell off the branch a while ago. Women's tennis teams have been asked to wear less revealing uniforms and been denied. You know, it's genuinely like really fucked up for the 100%. It's fucked up that they're like these are like top level athletes and they're like, please let us wear normal clothes, and the fucking fat, sweaty, disgusting, you know, team managers or like the not team managers, the championship tourney. What's the general term for like UFC or MMA or NBA? League? The leagues say fuck you. Yeah, league owners, I guess. They're like, nah, you're gonna wear fucking bikinis forever. Federation? Yeah. Skirts for tennis? I'll defend skirts for tennis, but everyone should have to wear them. Why can't everyone wear skirts for tennis? I'd wear my kilt for tennis. It makes sense to wear a skirt in tennis because tennis might have the biggest like hip pivot leg rotation movements of any sport I can think of. Like when you're playing tennis, you are always having to rotate your external hips. You're always doing some shit at the hips, and you got to do it in like a fucking microsecond. So it does make sense. Sure, but that's an awful look in Serena. I can't stay silent. Really? Okay. In my opinion, yeah, but only because the shoes don't match the tutu, and you can't wear like, you can't wear pumps on the tennis court. Like, okay, like I agree the shoes don't match in my opinion, but you can't. There's only so much you can do about that. Tutu? It's a tutu. Plus tutu. Thoughts on skateboarding? I am over 30 years old. Even looking at skateboarders makes my joints creak. Okay, what are we doing? I don't know why I'm talking about sports. I'm so far out of my league right now. I feel like the Reddit's going to be insufferable later. Folding Ideas might be one of the best YouTube channels. I mean, anything here that says I haven't watched it is lying to you. I've watched every video of his. It's a phenomenal. You get me. Anyway, yeah. Pulled more wrinkles in my brain. Yep. I think Finding a Flat Earth is his best piece. Do you agree? Finding In Search of a Flat Earth might be one of the most politically valuable things that he's made. In terms of entertainment, it's got to be... It has to be The Wall, and I find the Decentraland video just unbelievably fun to watch over and over. Honestly, I feel bad even comparing them because all of these videos are stellar. Like if I did like a tier ranking of his videos, it would all be S or A grade. I think like it would be half S and half A, and there would be nothing in B, C, D, E, or F. Yeah. Yeah, Line Goes Up is legendary, triple platinum, 100%. Yeah. What's your take on his Beast Game videos? Every time I watch one of his videos, I'm like, holy shit, he's so much smarter than I am. I could never make as much out of what he has seen. If I had his experiences, and even if I learned exactly what he had learned in anticipation of a video, I could never construct the arguments or engage in the analysis as effectively as he does. It's all phenomenal. His video on AVGN really opened my eyes about the creative process. Yeah. I only wish he could feel better about himself, you know? I guess, like, it is the fate of all people as talented as Dan Olson is to be a neurotic wreck a little bit. Because I'm not neurotic, I guess. Everyone, I guess, it's not a very convincing thing to say about yourself, but for the most part, when I'm not streaming, I'm really not, like... I never have an experience after which I'm like, oh, I feel bad about myself. I don't know. If I make mistakes, I try to correct them. I just don't... It's not a lack of internality, I guess. I'm just not... A lot of people mistake it for self-awareness. Have you seen that post on Twitter? Where the girl is like, I'm too self-aware and it's ruining my life. And then the quote tweet is like, this isn't self-awareness, this is neuroticism. I'm just not neurotic in that way, I guess. You just have good parents. I do just have good parents. That's yeah, no, that's 100% true. Absolutely. It's not even a skill issue. It's literally just like, yeah, I lucked out on my I just don't have those concerns, I guess, you know. So whenever I see people like Dan Olson being like, no, I'm failing my own creative ambitions, I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a YouTuber, I'm thinking like, Dan Olson, you are more valuable than you could ever know. Dan Olson, you are beautiful. Good stream today. Feel like the energy's good. Decent viewership, too. We've been on a bit of a algorithmic downturn lately, which is, again, just an expected up and down. Happened dozens of times across the channel's long and storied history, which is why we've been at 599k for a while. But pretty good viewership for a weekend stream. Energy's good. Feels good. It's the Epstein emergency in the title. Hey, I wasn't lying. How much do you think bad news tends to lower viewership? Bad news doesn't lower viewership. I think it's just that right now, a lot of people... I have been saying a lot of negative things about the country and the economy and so on and so forth, about the future, but people are probably tuning out a little bit because they see it as no payoff. Like, they're seeing, for months now, I'm like, oh, it's all going to shit. And people are tired. But we haven't hit that, like, cataclysmic breaking point yet. So so if we hit that cataclysmic breaking point and we wake up one day and, like, $20 trillion is gone from the economy, then that'll be a big channel rally moment. But up until then, you don't really get continued viewership for being correct in advance over and over, if that makes sense. Read a lot of Reddit comments and people said they stopped watching or unsub not because you're bad, because the news hurt their mental health. Totally fine. I will never, like... denigrate people in my community for wanting to take a break from it or being emotionally exhausted or whatever. That'd be like a dumb thing for me to be. Yeah, I think that's a healthy reaction. Glorp, glorp, glorp. I think that Terraria is like an unrivaled game in that field, in that genre. Like, I don't think any game has ever done the survival craft such and such as well as Terraria. Terraria is such a magical game. It's crazy, too, because on paper, Terraria is so fucking basic. But in practice, it's anything but. Terraria is a phenomenal game. Ark? Oh my god, don't even. I've played a Valheim plenty while it's in early access, Winby. I'll probably play it once it's finished, too. Though, in my opinion, there is a point where Valheim gets quite tedious, and I really hope they fix the fucking netcoding issue that leads to horrendous latency in multiplayer servers. The way they designed the netcoding is just really, really bad. Maybe they fixed it. I'm not sure. Has been a little while. Speaking of women being put in uncomfortable and disgusting situations, you guys see some of the trailers for the new Tomb Raider game, where when the T-Rex gets you, it just instantly cut to black, probably because they wanted to avoid doing any more woman torture porn stuff. Know what I'm talking about? In the Tomb Raider remakes, like 2016 and onward, there was a lot of hubbub, a lot of commentary about how Lara Croft would have like super gory deaths, but in like a kind of breathy sexual way. Like she would die and it would be like, you know, kind of torture porny a little bit. But now it looks like whenever she dies, it just cuts to black, which actually looked pretty good in the trailers. Sounds lame to me. It looks pretty good. I mean, you can check the trailers. I feel like they did a decent job making it still kind of startling and cool. We want powerful, charismatic Lara back. Nah, we're not getting it. Yeah, the reboots were horny to infantilize her, weren't they? Yeah. Not my shit. There are dinosaurs in Tomb Raider. What's up with that? Have you ever played a Tomb Raider game? That's like one of the main things they have. I rewatched the 2013 deaths, and all the deaths, not only does Lara struggle and cry in pain, but her face is always in frame and untouched as you watch her eyes go blank. Ew. I don't remember it that vividly. That plus making her like a kid. Not a kid, but you know, like a... She's not a kid? Nah, she's like 20. I mean, she certainly comes across like a kid relative to what she turns out to be. She comes off mid to late... Now's not the time for that. What? She comes off mid to late 20s? She does not come off mid to late 20s, Nuts. You're showing your age. Nuts, you're showing your age and your ass. She comes across like a fresh-faced college student. Okay, I've only played the 2013 one, Nuts. I didn't play the sequels. I wanted to see the Tomb Raider death scenes to see what you all meant. The comments all made drooling emojis. Listen, okay, the eroticization of death and violence is not exactly a niche topic. It's a pretty universal phenomenon to some extent or another. Oh, wait, hold on. This is where I died before. The problem... Oh, took some chip damage there. The problem is that, it's a little bit weird to have a character go from, like, a hyper-competent, badass, you know, femme fatale Lara Croft type to like whimpering college student whose deaths get hypersexed up. There's a way to do it properly, but it's the combination of the infantilization with the sexing up of the death scenes, with just how visceral they were, and also the fact that I think it was overall a T-rated game, wasn't it? Am I misremembering? So it's like the game overall is not that gratuitous, but then for maybe it's not T-rated. I could be wrong. It didn't feel like a game that was overall leaning super hard into the gruesomeness. It was M? Okay, it was M, not T. But yeah, it's overall it didn't feel like it had to lean in that much. Imagine if that happened to Samus. Yeah, no kidding. It did kind of feel like it was happening to Samus a little bit, you know? Soon it'll be illegal to flush your toilet in LA. They would do that before they put any fucking limits on lawn watering, I'll tell you that much. 100%. Ban lawns, oh my god. Especially in fucking Los Angeles, man. Succulent lawns are so much prettier anyway. It's crazy to me that people don't want to make those... don't want to maintain those just on their own, just for aesthetic reasons. Less hassle, too. Or wildflower lawns? Yeah. Lawns are crazy to me as a concept as an EU frog. They're so fucking dumb, man. Genuinely. They're literally just an attempt by wealthy Americans to import the like, pastoral fucking croquette lawn bowling ass European nobility lawns, you know? They all wanted to have their own little lawn in front of Versailles or whatever. It's the grass we imported initially. It was from Europe. Y'all imported grass from Europe? Well, there's many different types of grass. I'm pretty sure the initial kind of grass that we popularized in American lawns came from Europe, yeah. Because wealthy Americans wanted, like, a big symbol of their mastery over the natural environment by having a big kept lawn. It was basically, like, a way of announcing that you had enough money to have a gardener, but it's retarded because now suburbanites do the fucking lawn mowing themselves. So it's like, what are you showing off? That you have the money to have a lawn, but you have to maintain it? What are you showing? Like, it's stupid. Just stupid. Weren't lawns meant to show that landowners had land they could afford not to cultivate? No, you're correct. That was a big part of it, yeah. Like, the reason the aristocracy in, like, Britain would have lawns, in addition to the fact that they wanted to, like, fucking ride horses around it or whatever, was because it showed they were wealthy enough that they could just have a bunch of land, and they didn't need to have serfs tending to it. At least there's a social purpose to that kind of, you know, aristocratic tomfoolery, but now it's like, what, again, what are you even showing off?